And it's a fine Tuesday morning. We're back on your TV screens once again to serve you the very best of entertainment news here on Showbiz Now. We're live on Joy Prime TV, the ultimate experience. And it's another time to spend some quality time together. If you're ready, we're more than ready. Very good morning and welcome to Showbiz Now. My name, God took a microphone, put a soul in it, dropped it on F, and named it KMJ. And I was born to talk. And don't forget, it is powered by Joy Entertainment. We are large and in charge. You're most welcome to Showbiz Now. Coming right here on the show, ladies and gentlemen, we've got latest updates in the world of entertainment here on the local and foreign front, and I'll tell you all about it later on Zoom. We have a conversation going on about Ghanaian music, African music, getting the international recognition, globally acceptance. Are we putting too much pressure on our musicians here in Ghana? Looking at what the Nigerians are doing, which of course is always the standard. I mean, if you want to talk about Nigerians getting all the international collaborations, then of course it has always been the comparative, point when it comes to putting Ghana music here and Nigerian music here. We'll be talking to two gentlemen here on the show today. Naniel will be joining us here in Ghana. Osagi Steve will be joining us all the way from Nigeria. So that conversation coming up a bit later here on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into some local stories. And showbiz analyst Ken Ade has spoken about what makes a good music. And would interest you, veteran broadcaster Ken Ade has shared his view on what constitutes good music. Now, speaking in an interview, the veteran broadcaster reviews there is good music as well as bad music. He therefore believes that as a musician, for your music to be qualified as good music, it must first and foremost have an intro, a verse, chorus, and other key elements he mentioned. Ken concludes that any musician who lacks any of these features or elements cannot be qualified as a good musician. Here's more of Ken Ade.
I was brought up to know the structure of a song. I was brought up to believe that a good song should have an intro, should have a verse, should have a chorus, should include some solos, and then a bridge as well, concluding with an outro. I was brought up.
And that's the man, Mr. Ken Ade, speaking about what makes a good music. And, well, this conversation began over the weekend, and we're going to be looking at it hopefully this week as well. Okay, so those are some of the pointers that we're definitely looking for solutions to, and all of that will be happening here on the show. Away from that, let's move on to some more music-related issues. And Kiki Benson has spoken and is classified Patapasa songs and a popular piece of music. Now, music executive and public relations expert has shed light on the music structure in Ghana. Kiki Benson, as we all know, has explained what he believes constitutes a good music and a bad music, and he believes the song will forever remain technical in as much as there has been a dramatic change in how music being composed today. He further added that some songs neither fall under both categories, good or bad, and such songs can be classified as popular piece of music. A typical example under that classification is Patapasa songs that he spoke about on the show. Here is more of Kiki Benson.
Happening. That's the music scene has changed, and I respect that. It will change again and again and again and again, but it still will not and cannot redefine what music is and what song is.
Interesting, very very interesting. So, based on this argument, where would you place Patapas One Corner, Kiki?
He's a Christian.
It's a viral song.
Yeah, viral song. Most viral song.
It's a viral song. You can qualify. It's a viral song. It's not.
Yeah, sometimes you got to give you a little bit of pressure. Now, let's move on And that was Kiki Benson speaking about Patapa's song and where it falls when it comes to categorization of Ghanaian music or, international classification of music over there for you. So I wonder how Patapa will be feeling about this. But yesterday, we began a conversation over here. Now, on the back of Fuso DG's, take on what exactly Ghanaians are doing to our musicians in terms of winning Grammys and collaborating with, international superstars. We decided to have a conversation yesterday. Nanaya joined us over here on the show, and we got to a certain point that we want to a bit, elaborate on those points. And so on the show today, I've got Nanaya, and he's here in Ghana representing OnePlayAfrica.com. And then I have all the way from Nigeria, my brother, Steve Osagi. He's a music business strategist, talent manager, and also digital marketing expert. And he's managed a lot of Afrobeat artists, JJC, and of course, JJC 419 Squad. He's managed all of these guys. Awesome, awesome. And I've got these gentlemen to join me here on the show. If you guys can hear me, a very good morning to you. Hello, good morning, Ania, if you can hear me. Good morning, Steve, if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. How you doing? What's up, KMG? What's up, Ghana? I see you guys.
Yeah, KMG, can you hear me?
Okay, so I can hear you both. All right. So for starters, yesterday we began a conversation. Steve, you were not part of it yesterday when we began, but you're joining us today, so I might want to start with you. Now, let's talk about it. Now, we've had issues about Ghanaian, and let me put it in this point. At this point, let me try and then put it, increase it to another level a bit. Let's look at African music and African artists and what they're doing. Now, Nigerians have been able to get a little bit of, global recognition in terms of how many artists have been featured by foreign acts from Nigeria. Ghana, we have done same, but we're not too, much of, in terms of the numbers, we're not really there yet. But then there's always been the pressure of making sure that our artists here in Ghana and Nigeria get to, be with the foreign artists, collaborate with them, connect with them and all of that. Are we not putting too much pressure on African musicians to get to global stage in terms of even winning Grammys? Is that not what we're doing to these artists?
Again, I think when you say pressure, we know how great African music is. We know how great Nigerian, Ghanaian music is. But again, I think when it comes to acceptance of the African sound internationally, obviously we set a high standard for ourselves to try and attain. But again, if you're not going to be among the best, then what are you striving for? What does success mean to you? I think as Africans, we know that our music is great, so we want it to be accepted. And I think we try to push our artists to try to make sure they're able to stand among the elite of the elites. And it's an awesome thing to see, obviously, our artists from across the pond and across the continent being celebrated across the world. So I don't think it's pressure. But obviously you need pressure. Diamonds are made when pressure is attached to it. So the more pressure we put on our artists, obviously being able to balance out realistically what they need to do. But definitely we have to shoot for the stars if we're going to be among the Eagles. That's pretty much what I say.
Okay, now I'm going to get back to you. Nanaya, yesterday you made statements about the fact that it's more or less, the case because we seem to be not too satisfied with what our Ghanaian musicians are doing, even though some of them are doing their best. Steve believes that the pressure is supposed to help you become better. And so it's not as though we're, technically looking at the fact that they're not doing anything, but we need to just push them a bit. How do you reconcile with this?
Let me say, big shout out to him for his submission. I think I listened to him. Unfortunately, I have a different opinion. I feel that African artists should not be given pressure. It doesn't mean that you are not a diamond. You don't need pressure to know that you are a diamond. But I agree. As fans, like I said yesterday, fans are allowed to share or to amount a little bit of pressure on their artists because they want to see them become big. That's normal. But for an artist from Africa, I don't think that you need to work or do a collabo with international artists before you know that you are an artist. You get it? I feel that artists need to grow with their time and their pace. Success can also be achieved in the African continent. I mean, look at how how huge the continent is. If you have an African star, you are also part of the world's biggest superstars. I mean, until recently, BTS were not crossing over from their country. They were big in their Asia country, right? So I feel that if you're an African star, you're an African star. I mean, if you are an African star, it means that you are conquering over 50 something countries in one continent, and that's huge enough. You understand? I feel that the foreign collabos come when there's energy and there's good vibe to create amazing music to feed a new audience. If you're an African artist and you want to meet new markets, new music lovers, then you want to try and do collabos. Just like how we do collabos when we are doing African transfer of audience, like Ghana, Nigeria, Ghana, Tanzania, Ghana, Kenya, right? It's the same thing, it's the same mathematics for African artists who are doing international collaborations. So like Wizkid, Justin Bieber, Justin is giving Wizkid more market, and Wizkid is giving Justin more market. It's an exchange of markets. That's what it is. So you are an artist, you are a diamond. You don't necessarily need, to me though, I feel that you don't necessarily need to have a certain amount of pressure to bring out your diamondness. And I agree with him on the success part, that if you are not trying to equal the success, then what does success mean to you? But at the same time, it shouldn't be that you have to do a collabo for validation before you know that you're an African star. I feel that African stars are African stars, and we have enough market here. I mean, look at the market in South Africa. Now, Piano music is taking over Africa. Beautiful sound. Once upon a time, how did you hear a South African sound crossing over to take over the African continent? Today, Harmonize is playing it. The guys in Ghana are playing it. Nigerians are playing it. Very soon, we'll have another new sound from Africa that will go global. Which means that a lot of us are bridging the market. And they need us. You get it? In as much as we feel like we need them, they need us too. Look at Justin Bieber, all over the Essence remix. You get it? The sound is unique. The sound is fresh. Our market is huge. We can add up to the numbers. And so we also have something to go to the table with. You understand?
Okay.
African artists, the pressure is good, but we have to manage it for them. Because listen, guys.
All right.
The system and things that we have here, we are not adapting to the culture of creating some of this magic that the Western world have been doing over years.
Okay.
That's what I think.
All right, Steve, what is the situation in Nigeria? I mean, you've seen them always rising to the occasion. I mean, for the past months or years now, you see that it's either Davido is in there, Tiwa Savage is in there, or Wizkid is in there. What is the pressure in Nigeria like? Is this something that is normal for the artists? How are they taking it? You've been close to them. You've seen them, complain about it, or you've seen them more relaxed about it?
No. Also, to what my brother said. Again, in the statement that you made, I never said you needed international collaboration to validate us. What I mean is, that's why I asked, what does success mean to you? As every single artist, and for years we've been pushing our music by ourselves. We're our own fans first before anybody else. So when it comes to Nigerian artists, listen, when you are in the field or in an industry, no matter the industry you're in, what do you aim for? You aim to be among the best. You aim to be seen, to be on those stages. Because again, with that, if you look at how it also affects the industry as a whole, the more you celebrate it on certain platform, the more access comes into that industry, the more investors come into the industry, the more kind of funds come into the space and help the whole industry as a whole. As Nigerians, I mean, again, I know across the board as an artist, what we've always pushed for, we set a bar for, and we look at what is happening in the global stage. And now when you release music, think about it, your music is not localized. Once you put your music out now, it's international, either you like it or not. So let's go away from that local mindset. Although your core audience needs to be local first, but let's have an international mindset when it comes to promoting or pushing out your music. And the way Nigerians look at it is like, listen, why shouldn't I not be able to do the Wireless Festival in the UK? Why can't I perform at the Grammys? Why can't I perform at BET? That is the mindset we have. So everything that we do is to make sure that we're able to perform on those stages, because with those opportunities come a lot of leverage that we're able to have when you go into new negotiation deals with either a record label, when you're trying to go into endorsement deals. Those are things that matter, because data and those figures do matter, either we like it or not. Because if you also look at the spending power of the average Nigerian artist, of the average Nigerian or Ghanaian or African kind of listener, compared to that of either international audiences. Although we have a bigger population, but you also have to factor those things into in kind of into the whole scheme of things. So as Nigerians, we like the pressure because in Nigeria again, everybody's uncle, everybody's auntie, everybody's sister, everybody's cousin is an artist, is a producer. So like, I'm telling you, if you think there's only one Wizkid in every single hood, there's like 100 Wizkids in that single hood. So now, how do you stand up for the crowd? How do you make sure you're consistent enough, you're creative enough, and you're putting out good music on a consistent basis to make sure you're able to stand out among the crowd? You know what I mean? So you know we are competing among ourselves first before anybody else. And one thing I always say to artists is, listen, what does success mean to you? My level of success might not mean that is the same what success means to somebody else. But I always say, listen, let's aim for the stars. So even if you fall, at least you fall among the clouds, if anything like that. So and that's the mindset we always had. That is why I think for Nigerians, we're always a lot more intentional on where we try to promote and put our music, and who we try to put those music in front of, because we know where we are trying to reach. That validation, obviously, they don't need to validate you, but there are other opportunities that come with your music being appreciated and being seen on a global stage. As I said, I'll end on this. When you put out music, it's no more localized, it's international. Once you press send and it goes to every single store, anybody in the world on this device can listen to your music. This is the power that you have. What is your there's a friend of mine that put out music in the UK, but right now he's doing events and shows with some guys in China because they like the music that he put out. He's already making more money than guys that are already on the charts charting in other territories, because he's looked at the new market and listen, a lot of people are not going into this marketplace. I need to kind of go into that space. So those are the opportunities you have to consider, but again, we own our space first. We don't need we know that now. We don't need nobody else to validate us. Forget back in the day where we would have to pay 150,000 pounds or dollars to get a collaboration from an international artist. Now they're the ones that are now coming out and remixing and doing covers of our song based on what we've done over time. You understand? And that is the point we've always pushed for. I mean, I stay in the I do a lot of stuff and live in the UK and I go back and forth. But 10 years ago, you couldn't play Afrobeats. I mean, 7, 8 years, you couldn't play Afrobeats in the clubs more than 1 or 2 before the club owner tells you to switch it off. Now, you cannot be in a club without them playing it consistently. You understand? So that's what we've always wanted. For people that have been pushing behind the scenes for a long time. So hopefully, I mean, to me, the industry is just being born. We still have a lot of ways to go. We still have a lot of work to put in. So also, I don't want to get to a situation. I don't want us to think that we have arrived. So now that the attention is on us as an industry, as a space, we have so much work to do to maintain it. Hip hop did not get to where it is overnight. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of work that we all need to put in. Everyone, from the creatives to people behind the scenes, to people like yourself, to the media, to pushing the music to bigger and greater heights.
Now, Steve, we'll be looking at the other side of it in terms of the Grammy side. Maybe that'll be our wrapping up comments on that. But anyhow, so you see the mentality now. I mean, there's an opening to know that in-house or in the country, they believe that we need to push these people to get to where they have to get. Is it the reason why Nigerians are always ahead of us? In your opinion, anyhow?
Okay, let me say this though. I don't think Nigerians are ahead of us in terms of music. I think that it's a market share conversation. Because see, KMJ, when you look at the conversations coming from Sarkodie, Stonebwoy, Fuse ODG, for some time now, it's been the same conversation coming up again. That, listen, guys, we need to get a vehicle that will take our music to the foreign front. Now, Ghanaians don't have a vehicle that will take the music to the foreign front. But we create some amazing Afrobeat, amazing highlight music. And we have some of the most talented artists as well, just like our brothers in Nigeria. Now, okay, so in terms of them being ahead, I think that if you're talking about maybe more daring, maybe the market share coming out to support their talents outside the country, maybe the market share driving the music numbers online. And I agree with Steve at the point that, yes, once you press send, your music is global. It's no more local. I agree. But do the mathematics and see. Look at the market share numbers from South Africa, Tanzania, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda, Zimbabwe, Zambia, and all that thing. Imagine that we are able to press send and we're able to conquer all these numbers. We will have a share value at the table. I still stand by it. Trust me. And Ghanaians artists, their mindset, KMJ, you work with artists, you've spoken to artists, you've interviewed artists. Artists will tell you that, listen, they want to play with the biggest names in the world. They want to win the Grammy. I have not heard any Ghanaian artist say, oh, I don't want to win the Grammy. Every Ghanaian artist says, I will bring home the Grammy from the likes of, and we've tried, we've gotten closer. Rocky Dahuni has taken us there. Stonebwoy on an album on the Morgan Heritage has taken us there. We've tried, and we will keep trying. In every household in Ghana right now, if a Ghanaian artist should win a Grammy or let's say feature, let's say a known big star, it's going to be all over the news. It tells you that people are also ready to support their artists. But what we are saying is that these guys, these fans must reduce the pressure and put the pressure on download on playing the music online, stream the music online, push the music online so that it gets into the space where Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, they have no excuse than to put Ghana artists on. That's what I have been pushing for. Oh. This pressure that on the boy saying, oh, go and feature Justin Bieber or go and feature this artist. When they do the featuring and you don't go and listen to the music, what happens to it?
Let's go back to square one.
We come back to square one. So put the same energy, the same pressure on the streaming platforms. Go there, but that is where the global conversation is happening.
Okay.
Listen, let me do some mathematics for you right now. Ghana is a 30 million population, or 28, 29. Let's say we have averagely 15 million people online pushing Ghana music, listening to the songs. Trust me, bro, we will have global representation. One of our artists will jump the numbers. One song will break the market. It will become a global hit. We will get attention on us. We will push the music to the people because we are driving the numbers. But that's not the case.
Okay.
Because in Nigeria, like my brother was saying, their mental focus is, listen, let's push the artists to be on the biggest stages. What are we doing? We are rather putting the pressure on the artists and leaving where we have to put the pressure on. You get it?
All right.
If Ghana, outside Ghana and in Ghana will put the pressure on the streaming platforms, believe me, our story will be better. But in terms of big collabos and big awards, every Ghanaian artist says it. All of them, everybody. I want to win the Grammy. I want to play at the BETs. I want to play at the Young Festival. I want to play at every big festival, even Coachella. I want to play every big festival. We just need to carry them to that stage.
But George,
and we can do that by streaming the music.
Yeah, but George, you know that responsibility is two ways. It's not just the streaming platform, because to them, they're there to make that is their business, right? The artists themselves it has to be a two-way. So you can't they're giving you the platform already. So what are you doing with the platform? So a quick example I will say, anytime I'm on Instagram or YouTube, a Nigerian artist song will pop up like as a promoted feed, or watch this video, my song is out, or look, they're doing influencer marketing, where they've got a bunch of influencers doing some kind of challenge, and they're paying for that. So the reason why maybe I know as Nigerians we're able to get attention a lot more from the streaming platform is because they see how much money we're spending and how much we're putting into promoting. So they have no choice but to like, wow, look at these guys' numbers. Their numbers are ridiculous because we didn't wait for nobody. We don't wait for I'm not saying Ghanaians do. I mean, you guys put out a lot of work, but again, this is where collectively everybody has to come together. And you have, like, I know artists that are spending the amount of money they spend on YouTube ads alone, or on Instagram ad or Facebook ads, like I'm talking about thousands per month. You know what I mean? So you cannot scroll and put in music or Afro beats and the Nigerian artists don't pop up on your feed.
Okay.
Understand? So yeah, so that is essential as well. Because the sense is that control what you can. What you can't control,
you let it be.
Exactly.
All right, guys. I'm pressed for time. We're going to be going right now, but we're going to be having this conversation again. I'm sure every week we're trying to put this conversation up, and then we can, explore, look around and see how best we can all make the industry better. But I'd like to say a big thank you to both of you for joining me over here on the show. Really appreciate it.
Not at all. African music to the world. We're making it happen.
All right, so I'll see you guys later. Nania Radio of OnePlayAfrica.com. And of course, Steve Osagi coming all the way from Nigeria, joining us here on Zoom. He's a music business strategist and, of course, talent manager. He is also digital marketing expert, and he is in Nigeria, joining us via Zoom this morning here on Showbiz Now, exploring the conversation on Ghanaian and African musicians and getting global recognition, and whether or not they'll be able to take the continent far. And is it because we're putting too much pressure on them? Is there a reason why we can, look back and say that, okay, they've done something, the records are good, so let's leave it there and see what best they can also put together for themselves, all right? So that's what it is. Now, let's move on to some more foreign stories here on the show, and we're looking at the top 10 most Shazamed songs of all time. And if you are someone who is on Shazam, you should know about this. We're going to be talking about it briefly now. Let's get into it right about now. And as you all know, we're going to be counting from number 10 to number 1. Shazam has been a huge platform for a lot of artists out there, reaching out to people. And one of those people is Ed Sheeran, who's also spoken about the impact of Shazam in his musical career. Now, let's look at number 10. We're going to count down from number 10 to number 1. So let's look at number 10. Number 10, we have over there the girls. This girl is Kungs and Cooking on the 3rd burners, and Kungs and Cooking on 3 burners as well. Now that's at number 10. At number 9, we have over there Thinking Out Loud. Thinking Out Loud, Ed Sheeran is at number 9. At number 7, we have Cheap Thrills by Sia. Cheap Thrills by Sia is at number 7 on most Shazamed songs of all time. At number 6, we have Take Me to Church, which is from Hosea. That's at number 6. Now, at number 5, we have Wake Me Up by the late Avicii. If you know about that song, you know it's a very, very beautiful piece put together. Avicii lost his life some years back. Now, at number 4, Somebody That I Used to Know by Gutai and Kimbra. It's at number 4. And number 3, we have Passengers, Let It Go. That song is also another beautiful song, and it's one of the most Shazamed song of all time. Now, at number 2, we have Prayer in C. Robin Schulz radio edits Lilywood and the Prick and Robin Schulz is at number 2. It's called Prayer in C. At number 1, we have Dance Monkey, Tones and I. At number 1, Dance Monkey, Tones and I. So if you've not checked out that song, you can go ahead and check it out and know the reason why it's the number 1 most Shazamed song of all time. All right, so you can find out that right there. Now we're going to be going to our next story. Let's find out what next story. Let's get into filmmaker Takashi Kitano has been attacked with pickaxe in Japan. And that's another story over there. Now, Takashi Kitano, the famed Japanese actor-director, was attacked with a pickaxe by a man who was angry. Kitano wouldn't help him break into showbiz. Now, Kitano was leaving the TBS studio in Tokyo Saturday night when the attacker used the pickaxe to smash his car window and demanded Kitano get out of the vehicle. Fortunately, the attacker was subdued and then arrested. Kitano was not injured. Police say that the suspect has been in the police custody and is in his 40s and was carrying a knife with a 4-inch blade as well. As for why the man attacked, he reportedly was angry. The 74-year-old icon snapped him back in June when he kneeled in front of Kitano's car, begging to give him an entry into the entertainment industry. Kitano's credits include Hanabi, for which he won the Golden Lion Award at Venice Film Festival, and Outrage. All right, so that's news on the man Kitano, and we're just about going right about now. I had an incredible time. We appreciate the fact that you've been over there at the other side with us. God willing, tomorrow we're back again for the midweek edition at 11 a.m. Make sure you join us. Many thanks to the man Steve Asagi and, of course, Nania Redu for joining us over here on the show. Thanks to the production team for the great work done, especially going out to you, Bobby Dabby, and, of course, it's Bobby Dabby. That's how I call it. And then, of course, Mimi. Great work you guys put together. God willing, we're back tomorrow. Guys, God took a microphone, put his soul in it, dropped it on that, and named it KMJ, and I was born to talk. Always don't forget to do good and communicate. Thanks for watching.
Joy Prime, the ultimate experience.